So without further ado, let's welcome our first speaker, Timothy Ma. He has an MBA degree, and he actually has over 10 years of industry experience. He's knowledgeable in technical sales, as well as business development and product management. Personally, I've worked with him in previous company, and he is actually very tech savvy. But recently, he's working in Amazon, and he has developed his business sense as well as product management perspective. He has led multiple developments, and all with like a big development and projects and execution. And on a side note, he's also a very happy father and family man. Who still tries to be better in both, but I believe he's already better in both. So without further ado, let's welcome Timothy Ma to talk about the AWS Cloud Computing track.
Thank you, John, for the intro. Really appreciate it. And welcome everybody to join the webinar today. Really appreciate your time during the weekend. So before we diving into this specific AWS Cloud Computing track and the internship, I want to some of you might be asking, hey, what is cloud computing? Many of you may be first time hearing about cloud computing because we don't teach cloud computing in the school or academia today. In a nutshell, cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of the technology resource. For example, you can think about a rack of servers that has GPU, CPU computing powers, or an array of storage that store your data over the internet. So instead of every company need to buy, owning, and maintain their physical power in the data center, cloud computing allows those companies to access the technology as a needy basis, right? And then they pay as you go pricing at a hyperscale from a cloud provider such as Amazon Web Services. Company now today can do a simple click on the web portal or console, and then they can deploy their application within hours. Next slide, please. The second question many of you might ask or wondering is, who's using cloud computing, right? What is the benefit of those? Cloud computing more or less born about like 8 years ago. And today, organizations of every type, size, and industry are using cloud computing for a wide variety of use cases. Simple use cases such as data backup, disaster recovery, or application developed in the cloud. But beyond those like traditional applications, some of the most popular machine learning application or technology are also born in the cloud in the past 24 months. For example, one of the very popular machine learning model, ChatGPT, many of you maybe saw that in social media, saw that in the news. The application is from OpenAI, and it's one of the large language model that come with 170 billion parameters and allow individual like us to interact with machine through a human conversational way. And we can simply perform tasks. For example, we can write a question, machine can answer for us. That's on the easy side of the task. But it can also do a much more complicated task. We can also generate a machine assist full-blown essay and thesis now with those machine learning models. This specific application that I share with you, the ChatGPT, reached 1 million users within 5 days of the release. And this won't be possible if that's not born in the cloud or use the cloud computing as its foundation. Another example that recently getting very popular is stable diffusion models. And that's specifically from a cloud company called Scalability AI. And what this model do is essentially allow us as an individual to use a simple text string, and then we can use the AI to generate a machine assistant image without any design or artistic background. And this is really just a couple clicks in the console through the cloud, and we can generate those beautiful picture, beautiful image, and in the future, those videos just through text string and our voice. Those are two kind of example of the emerging technology. And according to some of the study that we did on the marketing side, around 81% of the company around the world that they are implementing or planning a cloud strategy today. Some of the financial service company are using the cloud to power their real-time fraud detections. Some of the video makers, the largest video makers, are using cloud to deliver online gaming to millions of players around the world. The global cloud computing market is expected to grow 85% to reach about 500 billion in 2023. And what those numbers translate to you is that with the cloud computing skill, you will unleash your full potential and jumpstart your career in the tech industry. Amazon Web Server, or Amazon, is a leader in the cloud computing for the past 9 consecutive years. And it's one of the cloud computing skills that you can acquire to start your cloud journey. Next slide, please. There are 4 key objectives that when we build and design this AWS Cloud Computing track, we want first accelerate your cloud computing career by obtaining an industry recognized certification with proven learning curriculums. Tech companies such as Amazon, Microsoft, and Google have preference in hiring graduate individuals who already have experience in the cloud computing technology, and having an AWS certification will be one of the best ways to demonstrate you're the top-notch candidate with a cloud computing skill. Second, the best way to learn about cloud computing is to get your hands dirty. So during this internship, the second objective is you will have full access to the AWS resource through the AWS console, and then we will help you tailor some hands-on job that suit for your interest, right? If you're specifically interested in, for example, natural language processing, we will have a template for that. If you're interested in pursuing advanced analytics, we will have a template for that. There is no limit on the use cases that we can think of in the cloud, and the online resource and also the console will help you to implement and realize your first cloud project. In addition, the third objective for the internship is to gaining the necessary technical skill, but also provide the insight of wide variety of career paths in the cloud computing. And by having exposure to different business or technical role with the cloud industry, we can help you plan your career trajectory and connecting those dots in between. Last but not least, we also want to help you build your personal brand and interview readiness skill. And we want to make sure that yours stands out in every step during the hiring process to launch your cloud computing career. Next slide, please. In terms of the schedule, the cloud computing internship is designed to be about 5 to 6 months in mind. We're going to use the first couple 2 to 3 months to acquire the cloud foundational skill and obtain your first AWS cloud computing certifications. After that, we'll shift the gear to focus on more on the hands-on experience. And as I mentioned, there's many pre-built projects that's already available on the template that allow you to jumpstart and play around with different flavor of cloud computing. And the goal of those pre-built projects is to help you speed up the deployments and really get into the outcome of those individual projects. The last phase of the internship will be emphasized on your resume building and also help you with some cloud computing specific mock interview. And we'll guide you step by step from how to identify or even find the right cloud computing job in the industry and prepare you throughout the interview process and give you the best chance to win your first job in the cloud industry. Next slide, please. In terms of this internship qualifications, we're looking for candidates in the STEM majors or minors with active junior or senior class status. We're also looking for about 6 hours of weekly commitment for 5 months, and that will including the time you need to spend to obtain your certification, as well as the time you are getting familiar with how AWS console works and getting the online resource and to deploy your project. Additionally, the candidate will also need to be willing to invest $100 for the certification fee to obtain the certifications. But all the internship material will be provided in this program, including the access to the online resource, the online training, the AWS account to perform hands-on lab, etc. And lastly, just for clarification, I know there's some question regarding to this internship. This internship is not affiliated to Amazon or AWS. But this will prepare you have the necessary cloud skill to attend plan or to join those cloud company to launch your career. So thank you for your time today, and then looking forward to your applications. Back to you, John.
Thank you, Tim. Wow, if you haven't heard about it already, this is the third consecutive year that Tim has offered this program. And I'm going to tell you, it's a very hot program. So if you're even thinking about applying, please do the application, submit the application, submit your resume as soon as possible, because lots of people are interested in this cloud computing platform program.